Hey everyone, Morgan here. So today I'm going to be making fix and wax. What is fix and wax, you may be asking? Well, fix and wax is essentially what it was originally designed for is waterproofing. Now, before I even get started with this, some people want like an all-in-one wax. One wax to rule them all. Unfortunately, there's so many different kinds of little things you can change in your wax recipes. So like for lip balm, it's something a little bit different than I might do for, my soap or my lotions or my salves, like I don't want one wax to rule them all. I want, each wax recipe to do what they're supposed to be doing. So in this, I have two simple ingredients. I have beeswax and mineral oil. I'm going to be using just this and this. This will be for waterproofing. You can also use this as a fire starter. Basically anything with wax and oil you can use as a fire starter. You could also use this as maybe a temporary, put it on your lips. But outside of that, I wouldn't really use this for anything other than basically waterproofing, fixing up, you're making your leathers look nicer, things like that. Now, a lot of people will use animal fats, lard, beef fat, stuff like that. But I would highly recommend against it simply because it could go rancid. Even the stuff that you buy from the store that's super refined, it has the potential to go rancid because you're using an animal fat in it. So I would just totally steer clear of using animal fat. Now there are some people that are selling fix and waxes where they are using lard. And just again, I would be very, very careful with that. I'm just going to stay on the safe side and use wax and mineral oil, which I know are not going to go rancid, but are still going to have my same results of waterproofing, using on leather, whatever else I need to do, fire starters, stuff like that. And I'm using these little mini small Altoids as a mold. I put the wax paper in there so that the fix and wax didn't actually stay in the Altoids tin because I actually want to take the fix and wax out. So this is just a mold. I'll take it out and I'll take the parchment paper out and then I'll put the fix and wax back in here. And I'm only going to do a little bit because I just want to kind of experiment with this. I have not actually seen an exact recipe on this. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of beeswax and 2 tablespoons of mineral oil, a good 1-in-1, and see how that goes. And again, we're using the double boiler method always. I'm actually going to add 1 more tablespoon of beeswax. So that'd be 3 tablespoons of beeswax and 2 tablespoons of mineral oil. You want the oil to be in there, but not like so oily. Okay, I just poured it and it was almost perfect for 4. I got just a little one right here. That's okay. Just playing with Pez over here, your dinosaur Pez. So once these dry, we're going to pull them, this whole thing out and then just peel it away from the wax paper. It'll be fine. It'll pull away just fine. And then just put them in the Altoids tin. So I put it in the fridge to solidify for like 30 minutes and it doesn't take very long. So I just peeled it away from the parchment paper. There you go. And then just put it in there. Boom. You could also wrap it in the parchment paper or some other kind of paper substance and actually store it like that if you so choose. Okay, but let's actually look at this here. Whoops. Okay, so we pop it out. So you want it to be nice and waxy like this, not too oily. It actually looks really good. You don't want it to, leave any sort of residue behind, which this doesn't. It actually feels good on my fingers, and that's something else that you want to keep in mind too. A lot of people were using like shea butter and stuff like that. I don't know. Just keep it simple with fix and wax. If you want to use animal fat, that's totally fine, but just keep in mind that it could go rancid. And then this can be used to waterproof stuff. So I'm actually curious to see how it works. This is a little bag that I made. So I'm just going to rub it on there And then we're gonna drop some water on it, and see how it goes. It goes on really nice and smooth. As you can see, it kind of looks like there's a little bit of a residue being left behind, but that's okay. I'm not really concerned about that. Plus it's green with a yellow wax, so I'm not concerned about it. It doesn't look bad. All right, so this is supposed to be the waterproof side. Let's see how it acts. Looks pretty good. It looks like it's still kind of soaking in a little bit, but it does look like it's also kind of repelling it. See how it's not soaking in? It's more repelling than anything. And then this is the non-waterproof side. See how it's actually soaking in now? And I'm dripping it on. I'm not like, trying to rub it on or anything. When I open it up, I can feel inside on the water resistant side, and it's nice and dry. And then over here I can actually feel that it's a little wet and like kind of moist and cold, but I can't feel that on this side. Now you have to take this kind of, waterproofing with a grain of salt. This is more like water resistant, and the more that you put on here, the more water resistant it'll be, okay? If you still, we have to keep in mind that it still has a zipper too, so it'll get through the zipper. But, just a little bit of drops of water on here, it's not going to get through, and it looks good. This is already kind of waterproofish fabric to begin with. So, it will depend on what you use this with, how well it'll work. And you could also use this to clean up leathers and a whole bunch of other stuff. And this I would use as a fire starter. Absolutely. It could be used as that. It feels good. It looks good. And it could be used as a nice little emergency lip balm if you so choose. So I'm really happy with this Fix and Wax. It looks good. If anybody has their own recipes for Fix and Wax, leave them down below in the comments. There's a crazy amount of recipes for Fix and Wax out there. When I was doing my research, I saw so many, and the majority of them came with lard. But unfortunately, that's just not something I'm comfortable with experimenting with at this time, because animal fat could go rancid. Any sort of animal fat. So anyway, let me know your thoughts, and this is such a super easy project. And I love working with beeswax. There's so many different things you can do with beeswax. Thank you all so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.